Let's grow these dwarf snowbird snow peas. We will first start with the spring harvest, then move to the fall seed sowing, after building our soil with simple culture principles within 3 containers, thus coming full circle for a complete life cycle of these tasty snow peas. Let's get started. Okay, so I direct sowed these out here 1 inch. I did not start them in the house. I did these Mother's Day weekend, and I am starting to get some nice lovely peas here. So I am very pleased with that. And look at these little guys up here. Are they not cute as can be? I like how they look against this rusty cage. Hi guys, I wanted to read to you what it says about these snowbird snow peas. So you can see it's a Burpee exclusive, takes 58 days, very early and prolific dwarf plants, yields 3-inch pods, in clusters of 2 or 3. The height is 16 to 18 inches tall, container friendly. We can see that, that's what I've done them in, and full sun. And I have them in the sunniest spot in my yard. Now you get 300 seeds per packet for $4.95 in this catalog. And here's the picture of them here. So this is the way that they look. Everything that they have said here is absolutely correct. I picked these Burpee Seeds up at Menards. They were $3.29. A little bit different of a package, but you know, they look the same. So the better deal, if you want more, is to come here to the Burpee catalog, because you're getting 300 seeds for $5, and there's no way that there's even 100 seeds in this pack. So this is far, far better. So as we go back to the video, you can see the clusters are of 2 or 3. If I don't point it out to you, look, I'm gonna try to though. You can see that the height is right on point. It's just about a ruler and a half tall. Like a school, like little kids taking their school ruler. 1.5 tall. The container, the full sun, all of that is right on point. And I want to point out the ruler here. Got it all the way on the soil line. And we can see that it is taking up about 3/4 of that plant. So yeah, that's probably more about 18 inches. And over here, you can see our beautiful pods. This one itself has 2 at the time. The one right next to it, well, it also has 2 at the time. It looks like there's 3, but there is a separate one growing in between it from the pod above. So I'm gonna do some more picking because I can see this one right here. Look how beautiful the light going through that is, and just how tender of a taste that is going to be for us. I did this in a cage, and this is becoming a little bit harder for me to get in here without knocking off the flowers. So that's problematic. Guys, let's go over a few facts about these snowbird snow peas, which are dwarf. They will get as high as 18 inches. You do want to plant these in your spring or your fall, whatever those seasons mean to you. For zone 5, that is April or May or August. You're going to sow these direct sow, the depth of 1 inch in average soil. You do need full sun. They are self-pollinating. Bees will also help you, but they're much like a tomato. All they really need is a little bit of wind and jiggling, and there you go. You're off to the races. 7 to 14 days to germinate. After that, you do want to keep your soil moist. You only need about 1 inch of water per week. Don't overwater your peas, which is easy to do. You do want to pull back once you see that it has sprouted and it's coming up. Peas will be ready about 10 days after you see that bloom appear. So, 58 days. Pick daily so you keep getting more. And you can store them in the fridge in an airtight container for up to 5 days. Okay, let's talk 1 minute about how you actually pick these peas. Some people like to come in here and cut them, and they're just want to bloom. Did you see that? But what that means is that then you're gonna have to come through your bowl and you're gonna have to snip the top of that off, because I don't really particularly like to eat that. So to me, it's really best if you're just hand picking these. And I just get it, let me get this lined up here. I just get it right underneath the top of this, and I really just use my fingernail to help more than anything. And now we have our beautiful little pea here, and you're done. All you really need to do at this point would be to rinse them and season them. Okay, so this does have strings on them. An easier way to do this when you have got both hands is if you use both hands, and I've started this already to where I cut the top, and can you see it's attached here to a string? See, I wasn't able to do that because I didn't have 2 hands, but if you hold the one side and the cap with the other and just move it along, it will de-string those for you as you go. Much easier than having to go back and do this. So, what I did to prep the soil was almost absolutely nothing, except when the weather broke, I brought my kitchen scraps and I composted in place here. That's it. Since there's holes, it's already on this garden soil, which I compost in place all down the line here. There's already worms. There's already worm activity. There's holes, they're gonna get in there, they're gonna smell it, they're gonna do what they do. There is worms in this soil. And that is the extent to what I prepped the soil. Check out my Etsy shop, T-Shirt Garden Company, featuring gardening, No Mow May, sewing, tiny house, Zen meditation designs. Link in box below. All right, guys, so let's cook these. And I just have full boiling plain water, no salt, no oil. And I'm just going to drop these in here. And I'm gonna set the timer for about 90 seconds. And that's it. Okay, full rolling boil. You can see the steam there. And you can see how vibrantly green they get. If you're cooking sugar snap peas, it's the same process. Probably need about 2 minutes for those. And you'll see with those that you'll get little air pockets in those pea pods, but not so much with snow peas since they're very thin, very flat. And I think really these are done. Okay, so now I want to try one without any seasoning whatsoever on them. Good. Okay, let's talk a minute about seasoning, because for these, I am going to put a little bit of virgin olive oil on here, extra virgin olive oil. And today, I'm going to use this Blue Monday. Let me cover this up real quick. Seasoning. I really like this. This has salt, it has onion, and it has celery seed in it. I like it. It's nice and light. I also like to just add some Adobe all-purpose seasoning. I don't necessarily need the olive oil when I'm using this, but very easy, all-time standard kind of thing is just olive oil and some coarse sea salt. Cannot go wrong with that. Obviously, you're going to season them how you want to, and I will do that now. All right, now I have just a little bit of olive oil in here, and I've seasoned this up, and I'm going to taste it. Yeah, very good. I personally need some seasoning. At the bare minimum, I need just olive oil. And I probably put this around the pot maybe twice for this amount, but I like a lot of seasoning. This also works really well on boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Oh, so good. Okay, look at how fantastic our snow peas look. All nice and seasoned. I have some regular boxed scallop potatoes, and I have some boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I grated some lemon, put a little black pepper and a lot of white pepper and sea salt. And I'm going to pair all of this with a little yellow cake, whipped topping, a little bit of chocolate chips, and homemade brewed iced tea with a little bit of stevia, because I got enough sugar right here. So what a fantastic meal, all inspired by our snow peas. It's gonna be sensational. But remember when I read you that review, they talk about double or triple pea pods. If you look at those three in the middle, those are three teensy tiny, ultra cute little snow peas right there. Hey guys, today is June 16th, and this is really all I'm gonna get out of the rest of those snow peas. And you can see how really little that is compared to the salad that I'm making here. And I'm going to use this in the salad this time, because that's really not enough for me to steam up. There's really maybe 2 or 3 left on that plant, especially after yesterday it was 97. There's about 2 blooms on there. So I'm just gonna incorporate this into the salad. This is everything that I have picked since we cooked those snow peas. So I think it's just about done. Would I grow these again? Yes. I would grow more of them, and I would start them earlier. That way I don't have just a little bit. I've actually got a decent amount that I can cook up, which is really what I like more than anything. Oh, look at that one. See that one? See how yellowy that one looks? And you can see, look at how big those peas are in there. This one I think I'm going to leave out and just let dry up, because you can see, look how heavy or fat that this looks compared to this. So we've got seeds in here, and I'm just gonna let this dry up, and I'm gonna snatch these seeds. Hey guys, today is June 27th. This snow pea is time to be done. You can tell that the plant's already starting to die off. We have gone through 2 little mini heat waves. I have already picked one, and you can see, look at how thick that is. So the taste itself, it's not bitter. It tastes pretty much the same way as before. But what's ruining this taste are these very thick pods now. And they are starting to curl. And you can see that right here. And this is not very long, meaning this is probably maybe 2.5 inches. And remember, I picked these at about 3 to 4 inches. But look at how thick they are. Look, it's starting to die off. This one feels nice. This one feels normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see what I can salvage, because I can put a few of these raw into some salads, and that's going to basically not take any effort from me. I'm gonna continue eating this one. Obviously it still has a good crunch. This one's still thin too. Okay, this one, some of them. Look at these leaves. All right, I'm gonna get on the other side real quick. By the way, our melons that are right here, I want you guys to watch this video. I hand pollinated all of these melons, and I've got so many more coming. Look at this one. I gotta hand pollinate this one today. I'm gonna pull this all out after I pick them. And I'm going to put a tomato here. I have a large volunteer tomato. So anyway, it's time for these to be pulled. I mean, the plant is telling you, I'm done. Done, 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 done. I've hit my life cycle. You're gonna get a few more peas out of me, sweetheart, and that is about it. Because I cannot handle these 100-degree days, and this is in a full sun spot right here for me. But I can regrow these again at fall. I can also pre-start these if I want to get ahead of that succession planting, because I have plenty of these cardboard egg cartons, and I can just send them out here and just start them if I want to, and then plug them in wherever I have space, because sometimes that's how you do it when you've already started your gardening season. You're just like, I will also squeak in more lettuce here because that worked very well. Guys, I did not lose one head of lettuce to a groundhog, to a rabbit, nothing this year. I had fantastic salads and lettuce crops, and I am so pleased with that. All right, you guys, this was the rest of the pea pods. And you can see there's a lot that are just teensy tiny. Actually, I ate a lot of those while I was picking them. They were like little gourmet pea treats. And some of them also kind of were starting to go to seed, and this one actually dried up on me. Okay, now it's time for our fall replanting. All right, so in here, I have taken the old melon vines, and this was from the sugar cube melons in that video. So I went ahead and I took all the roots out, and I can put them back in here because they will break down as well. But I want the topsoil to be pretty root free. I'm going to transfer this into this, and we're gonna plant some more of those snowbird snow peas. All right, you guys. So if you use a fair amount of bark as well as those vines, that is also considered to be hugelculture. You can see that I've got 3 seeds only, and I have them pretty far spaced apart between. They will stand on their own, but I don't want them to be a big clumpy mess. So I also have this pot sitting on top of another pot, sitting on top of the soil. I needed to elevate this, number 1, for the groundhogs. Number 2, I emptied all of my kitchen scraps in there, and I am composting in place underneath this bucket. So I'm kind of getting a 3-for-1 here. So we just need to push these down about 1 inch. Cover up. 1 inch, cover up. and I can do this by feel because I know where my knuckles are and I've done this for so long. I know we're about 1 inch. Otherwise, you can go get your ruler if you want. They've got nice gardening tools that usually have measurements right next to them, and that's it. And if you notice, I'm sort of just patting them down in each little spot. Not a lot, just a little bit. I'm gonna do nothing here in the middle. And now all we need to do is water and be patient. August 23rd, and look at how our peas are coming up, our snow peas. And right in the center there, I've got a little lettuce I'm gonna start. September 3rd, and I can see I need to pop in a couple more of these snow peas seeds, and probably maybe one here. I think this one's coming up. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in the house, I'm gonna get those, pop those in, water those up. But look at how fantastic that is going for us so far. And you can see right here in the middle, my lettuce is starting to come up, so I'll transplant that elsewhere as a spot becomes available. But we're just sort of in a little fall transition period. All right, September 15th. And look at how big these snow peas are getting for fall. And here was the second batch, and here was the last batch. I also have some nice and lovely red French heirloom lettuce that I've got up high. That way the squirrels or the rabbits can't get it. And I did this first, second, third only because all of my pots were not available at the same time. And with snow peas too, I also want to elevate them, and I had a limited amount of pots. But thus is the full circle moment there. What I want to tell you about this is see how this chair is pretty much perfectly aligned with our snow peas. Remember, they're only going to get to 18 inches. They're perfect for a container. So if you have a container sitting on top of another container, you can kind of twist it and use it almost like a lazy Susan, to where once you're seated, you don't really have to move that much if that's your physical situation. So remember, 18 inches. So if you plant those directly into the ground, and you can see I've got some things that are directly planted into the ground. It's not a lot of picking things. I have what I need to pick a lot of and on a daily basis raised up for me, or I have it trellised up for me, or archwayed up for me. Really the only thing that I would have to consider as far as you have to pick it every single day, you might not want something this dwarf or this short directly in the ground. So I want you to be really, really mindful about that. If all you have is a space and you want to plant it directly in the ground for whatever your situation is, you might want the taller ones. So what I'm saying is move forward in the thought of not what you're seeing as my reality, but what would really be your reality, and how is it best going to fit for you and work for you. And don't forget the bees, the pollinators, and the birds, they need a little bit of water along with that pollen. Thank you so much for watching, and I invite you again to subscribe, as I have been gardening for over 40 years and have a lot to teach, show, grow, review, experiment with, and my favorite, a specific variety everything deep dive. So let's try new things together, mix it up, and have a glorious day.